Good morning. Today looks like another fine weather day. Um, Yesterday we did food chains and food webs. If you haven't finished that, you need to. I highly recommend watching my video there. That same video, I'm not going to press the square arrow. You should to edit it. That same video was in the last slide. And you were supposed to delete all the slides except for the ones you were going to use. But there's the video. That same video was posted on my website, so if we go to the website, you can see it on yesterday's post. There's the video about how to make a good food web. And also, here's my example food web, if that would help you out. So, again, delete the slides you don't use. You should have 5 slides when you're done. There are 6 slides that you can delete. So today we're going to the end of our book work. Excuse me there. So let's go back to the chapter 18 book work. There it is. And you might be behind. Monday we were supposed to do slide 4. That was a change in plans. If you're behind, the whole thing's due Friday. We should be done today if you've been following my pacing, but some of you might not. I'll go over a little bit of slide 4 today. If people want me to, I can answer a question about the article. Remember, question 15 was about this video. But here we are, section 3, types of interactions or symbioses. I'm going to go back and split screen. And if you can't split screen, that means you didn't press the square arrow. That's another reason. I'm going to open up the textbook pages and go to section 3, types of interactions. There we go. So first question, limiting factors and 2 main groups do organisms compete with for food? So that's actually, I think, over here. We have the carrying capacity, which is the maximum number of individuals that can exist in a habitat, and that is tied to limiting factors. So limiting factors is referenced in this paragraph. And then interaction among organisms. Oh, there's limiting factors too. And you can see it in italics. So it's a definition. It was a vocab word not in our list. And then competition, what organisms, who do they compete with? That's in this paragraph that says competition for the second half of 16. For 17, we have predator-prey questions. And that's here. And so, for instance, here's a predator. You might not have noticed it, but there's a predator just hanging out on that flower. And there are 4 basic strategies that prey have to not become food. Predators often have similar adaptations, but there it is in prey adaptations. 18, commensalism is one type of really close interaction. We'll get to mutualism, but here is the commensalism paragraph and picture, and there's a description of the picture that might be helpful. So mutualism is when 2 things help each other in a close relationship, whereas commensalism is not quite the same. In commensalism, one organism gets a benefit and the other one doesn't really care. So mutualism, 2 things help each other like coral and algae. Commensalism is a little different. And then we get to the favorite relationship, parasitism, we'll talk about later. So parasitism is when one thing helps itself by hurting something else. Now coevolution, how have ants co-evolved with trees? This is based on today's video. So today's video goes much more in depth, but this acacia tree ant relationship, they have changed themselves. So when we talk about coevolution in question 14, they have changed themselves considerably, the ants, because of the trees, and the trees have changed themselves because of the ants. They've changed for each other, sometimes in good ways, sometimes in bad ways. So coevolution also happened with the rabbits in this tan block up here, and also for the hummingbirds and the flowers. So for instance, for hummingbirds and flowers, the birds changed their beak and tongue to match that specific type of flower. The flowers changed their shape and nectar to be beneficial to the birds. But for the rabbits, for question 20, the gist is the Australian government wanted to get rid of rabbits. They didn't belong. They were out competing cute things like wombats and wallabies. And so they brought over a virus to kill them. And the Rabbits co-evolved with the virus. It's not in the virus or the rabbit's best interest for them to completely die out. So they changed for each other. Coevolution, changing for each other. Whether it's in a good relationship or a bad relationship, it doesn't matter. If you get that done, today we have the possibility of a GIM kit, although that's tomorrow's assignment. And if you get that done, watch the Ants in Our Plants video or go back and watch one of these side videos or yesterday's joke video, The Burrito Tunnel Through the Earth. That was an April Fool's Day video Dr. Joe did. Which came first, flowers or bees, is a nice symbiosis video. Thieving animals is a nice parasitism video. And then this is just a keystone species video. So we've got lots of things going on if you finish early. Whether or not we get outside, for those of you who are in person, depends upon how well people are working, but it should be a beautiful day. As always, Zoom or email if you have questions.